Hello, and welcome to the Sugar Bell Review, a program dedicated to learning about the people, places, and policies that make up the Bellbrook Sugarcreek community. This evening we have with us Fred Cramer, one of the Sugarcreek Township Trustees. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Well, Diana, it's my pleasure. Good to be here.
Well, okay. One of the reasons we love having our guests is we get to learn a little bit more about them. Would you mind telling us a little bit more, maybe about your family and how you ended up in Bellbrook and or Sugarcreek, and how long you've been in the area?
So I'm a Greene County guy. I went to Beaver Creek High School.
Okay.
Went to Wright State University. Still active on the athletic advisory board at Wright State. So very involved yet with the university. So my wife and I lived in Sugarcreek Township now 20 years.
Wow.
And no, we really enjoy it. We walk the Little Miami River. We go into the parks. We take advantage of a lot of things in Sugarcreek Township, and we're excited about it.
It's a lovely area.
Yeah. I think it's got the potential to be one of the premier areas in Southwest Ohio to live in. And to do that, we got to develop it in areas that need developed and keep green spaces where green spaces need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fine line between that, but you know, the Wilmington Pike area up there, I mean, that's industrial. That's always going to be industrial.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to do something to make a difference. I've been appointed trustee by Mike. Mike Pittman recommended me.
Okay.
Mike was a trustee for a long time. He and I went to Beaver Creek High School together, so we've known each other for a long time.
Okay.
He got me on the board to be appointed to the Board of Zoning Appeal. It's a non-paying job for 12 years.
So you've been volunteering for the city for a while.
You know, I've kind of almost been preparing for this job for 12 years.
Okay.
So you got to see what was going on in the township. You got to see what were challenges in the area. And so I'm sitting there and my wife said, "So why do you want to be a trustee?"
It's a good question.
And I said, "Diana, I don't know a lot about police, I don't know a lot about fire, and I don't know a lot about road crews."
Mm-hmm.
And then the administration staff, headed by Barry Tiffany, they do a great job. They're top shelf people. What I can bring to the community is bring businesses to this area.
Okay.
So my goal, I told my wife, was I want to bring revenue into the township without raising taxes.
I'm sure that would go over very well with the majority of the population.
I can't imagine anybody not wanting to do that, and so to that end, I brought a distillery into Sugarcreek Township. They've purchased the land. They're in the midst of doing some marketing, so I can't tell you their name.
That's kind of exciting, though.
Not only will it be a distillery, they want to have live music outside 7 days a week.
Wow.
So it's along the bike path, so it's going to be accessible to all the people that can walk there.
Okay.
And they've purchased the land. They should be starting to build late this fall.
Okay, wow.
So we've got a arboretum coming into Sugarcreek Township.
Oh, beautiful.
So really doing things to up the value of the properties of the people, bring revenues in without raising taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And so the third is I'm working on bringing an Italian restaurant to Sugarcreek Township.
Oh.
So what I bring is I'm the president of Guide Technologies,
Okay.
where I founded the company some 23 years ago.
All right.
And I know businessmen and I know how to sell Sugarcreek Township to people outside of the area.
Well, I would hope that it's not a hard sell. You were saying it's a beautiful little community.
And you know, when you look around and see that, you know, Centerville and Washington Township, it's all built up. Beaver Creek, all built up. We are primed for the taking. What we need to do, though, is develop it, have a plan for development, and plan in the right areas and not in the green spaces.
Yeah, well, the green spaces are one of the definite appealing factors, as you still have reserves, and Morris Reserve is beautiful, and you still have places to walk, and it feels more like you're out in the country without actually being in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
So Mike Pittman was able to get the bike path put in by grants from the state of Ohio.
And where are those bike paths? I'm not
So
sure.
all along Sugarcreek Township, most specifically if you're on Upper Bell
Okay.
and Main Street where they
Okay.
intersect.
Okay.
He's got a plaque there. So all those bike paths that were put in there was because of grant money.
Okay.
So our goal is to get more grant money to make this and continue this all the way to the bike path that runs down to Cincinnati.
Okay, yeah.
So if we could connect Sugarcreek Township, and I'm going to say Bellbrook Sugarcreek Township because we're really all one community.
Yeah.
Okay, my card says Sugarcreek Township, so certainly that's where I'm focused on. Do I want to see Blue Mountain and have a tubing park here? Absolutely. I think those are the things that make this area look attractive, and that would be in the wintertime. So, I mean,
Certainly would be a different and unique approach to city funding.
well, Diana, anything we can do to enhance the area without going through the traditional taxing, that's solving business problems in new ways. And new ways is get out and go sell. And that's what I'm good at, and that's what I've been doing my whole life.
Well, what is Guy Technologies, you said, right?
Yes, so Guide Technologies, we are a reseller of manufacturing software from
Okay.
Infor. We're Infor's largest partner. We go from East Coast to West Coast.
Ooh. You spent a lot of time on an airplane then.
I used to get my mail on Delta. Lately I have not, but
good.
it's fun. And aerospace and defense is probably the primary
Okay.
industry that we focus on, as well as automotive
Okay.
and anybody that makes commercial manufacturing, mostly discrete manufacturing. Companies like Unison around here in Beaver Creek,
Okay.
part of GE, run our software that runs their manufacturing plants.
Ah, okay. Well, that sounds like it set you up perfectly for coming in as the trustee and kind of going, I want to help increase the business elements within without destroying the
Absolutely.
green space.
So I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman. Sugarcreek Township is $11 million budget.
Okay.
My company is $11 million. So there's a lot of similarities. There's 8,500 people. We have 85 people. So there's a derivative.
Yeah,
So
there you
there's
go.
a lot of commonality. I love working with the people in Sugarcreek Township. And when I mention I'm from Sugarcreek Township, at meetings in Columbus where townships, it's well known.
Wow.
And that's because the people before me did a really good job. And now it's my turn to take it to the next level.
Well, that's exciting. It
So I'm running for
definitely-
election in November,
Oh.
and I have never done this before. I'm excited. It's kind of scary, and my slogan's going to be "Keep Cramer," and so we'll see how that all works out.
I approve of your slogan, as that was my maiden name, so I can't disagree with that.
Super.
No, it definitely sounds exciting. Now, what has been your favorite part about taking on this responsibility?
Going and finding businesses and finding out what issues they're finding, and then trying to find a solution for them inside Sugarcreek Township.
So things that would be difficult for them to move their facilities here, and you trying to make it so that it works for them?
Yes. So
Okay.
when we met with the distiller, his architect said, "How did you find this area?" And they said, "They found me." We have to go out and search for those pieces. We can't just sit here and think they're just going to walk in the door. And oh, by the way, we want it to fit into our economic growth plan.
Okay.
And so it's pretty fun.
And you work with two other members of trustees, correct?
Sure. So Nadine Doherty and
Okay.
Carolyn DeStefani are the other two trustees, and we work arm in arm. We're a team, and we are out there doing that. And each of us has an area of expertise, and we work well as a team.
That's amazing. And so you're planning on running again? Not again. You were.
So this will be my
appointed,
first
so
time.
your first election.
This November, and if I was fortunate enough to win, then I would run again next election because I'd be filling out a term.
Okay.
So I've had a lot of great opportunities. A week ago, I was with Congressman Turner and Congressman Shavit from Cincinnati.
Okay.
I was selected to be on a panel for reviewing the PPP, the Payroll Protection Plan.
Okay.
And so they wanted to know what was working, what wasn't working, what problems we're having. So I really like the fact that they were asking us what our problems were so that they can put legislation and stuff together to fix it.
As a business person.
So, right. So in the township, it's the same thing. We have to go out and understand the business problems before we can find a solution for them.
Well, that's an exciting plan for the community. It sounds like you're having a great first attempt at being a part of this role, and hopefully you can continue being a part of this role if you're reelected.
Absolutely. So I'm just taking the vision that Mike Pittman had started, and I'm following that and taking it to the next level.
And how long was he the trustee before you?
I think 12 years.
Okay.
So he's been involved in township for a long time, and his plaque is on the bike path up there on.
At the intersection at Feedwire and Main Street?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's his plaque is there, and it's dedicated to him because he brought that to light.
Yeah,
And
I'd be
he always
excited
believed
to see it
in
go all the way.
Right. Connect that all the way to Cincinnati. Now, is that going to happen in 2 years? No. But getting grants, so we're not spending Sugarcreek Township people's money.
Yeah.
And let's get these things done, and that's exciting.
That is
it's
exciting.
a fun team, and we got the right team to make this all happen.
Okay.
So all the dominoes are lining up, and this is absolutely the perfect time for me to be a trustee.
Well, I'm looking forward to it because the idea of live music sounds fun as well as Italian. I mean, who can turn down a good Italian meal? So it sounds like a definite plus. You know, everybody loves food.
Yeah. So, bringing those kinds of new things to the area and getting them plugged in, it's just going to enhance the vision. Now, where are we going to go long term?
It's a good
Should we
question.
have an amphitheater? Why not? So I was talking to my buddy Steve Kirscher, who's putting Blue Mountain together,
Okay.
and he said, I'm going to a David Chappelle
Okay.
concert in
The
Yellow Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he would love to be able to have an outdoor venue. And we're talking, and it's a vision yet. We're not there, but how about an amphitheater in Sugarcreek Township where we could have local artists perform?
It would be amazing. We lived not too far from the park in Centerville that has one. And the idea at the time, we had very small children, so we didn't do a lot of outings to live music, but we did go to a few of the shows that they'd have during the summer at that amphitheater out there. I don't remember the name of the park. I just remember it has the monkey house at it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was a neat feature. It was really cool for the community to have those things available to them.
So yeah, I'd like to see us have a more piazza kind of look place. So where is Sugarcreek Township? Well, it's all around Bellbrook, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a big U, right?
Yeah, so it was a big circle really around Bellbrook, right? So if we had some sort of center of township, I think that would give some more cohesiveness to the area.
Yeah, I suspect most of us think of center of town being Main Street, Bellbrook.
Sure. So if we had an amphitheater and maybe a restaurant out there,
Something
with
to
the
define it.
arboretum attached to it,
That'd be super pretty.
wouldn't that be the nice vision?
Yeah. it
So
would
that's the vision. Okay. Now you got to make it happen,
be. Find the
and
ways
it's
to make
the
it.
every day waking up of what can I do to move this plan forward, and that's what I'm doing.
That sounds really exciting. I am so glad you could come and join us and you could talk to our viewers and let our viewers know a little bit about what's going on with the Sugarcreek Township Trustees, but with you as a part of them specifically and what you bring to the community. So hopefully, we'll see what numbers look like in November, but it sounds like you definitely have an idea of where the community could be in 10, 15 years. That's just really exciting.
Well, it starts with a vision, right? And I started my company 23 years ago with a vision,
Yep.
and you know what? It's worked.
Good.
My wife said, "Are you crazy? Do you really want to do this?" And I said, "You know what? I've been doing this my whole life. This is natural for me."
This is right where I belong.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Fred, for joining us. We had a lovely evening, and thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. And we hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. We will catch you on the next one.